My first impressions of Melbourne when I came in 2012 were, oh, this city really looks like home, because Barcelona has also a very cultural life. It's a city where people live by the sea, and just like in Melbourne, Melbourne is a very open city. People live by the sea, they like being outside, and it's a very warm atmosphere. So I didn't feel really in a foreign country when I came to Melbourne for the first time. My research for the past 10 years has been focusing on law and technology, and how technology can enable and enhance people's participation in legal processes. For the last 2-3 years, I have been specifically focusing on the disaster management domain, because participation via crowdsourcing and digital mapping has been a case in point, especially since the earthquake in 2018, where volunteers from around the world started to contribute to the response by translating and mapping those events on digital maps. It's been a lot of new developments for the past 3 years in the disaster management area, especially focusing on crowdsourcing and digital mapping methods. I see a future where social media will have a major impact on crisis management. People will be able to update their status in a crisis by providing very granular, real-time information, so that other people, volunteers or professional organizations, will be able to immediately sense that data, collect them, map them, and respond. Also on the legal and ethical consequences for people to participate in those efforts. Consider that not all the social media information is very trustable, so where are the limits of verification, where are the limits of trust in social media? That's also something that interests me a lot to analyze as a legal researcher. The transition to a job in another university is never easy, but I have to say that with RMIT it has been very smooth. I decided to apply for a RMIT fellowship because I sensed that this university had a very interdisciplinary culture, and it was a very dynamic university where people could contribute from different perspectives. In practical terms, I think it's important to have a research cluster where you can collaborate on a daily basis with other people. May these be PhD students or colleagues from other departments. It really encourages this interdisciplinary culture that it's most needed in social sciences, and in particular in the domains I'm doing research on. Definitely RMIT is the place where I would like to be at the moment. It was a personal choice, it was a family choice as well. I couldn't imagine now a better place to develop my research. So it's been very, very exciting from the very beginning.